It has been 26 weeks since Warhammer Plus launched, so that means we're exactly halfway through the year. Now, for the last 6 months, I've done nothing but moan about Warhammer Plus, about the consistency of the programmes, about the length of the programmes, about not getting enough content each month. So what I want to know is, am I being fair? So yes, that means I've got the graphs out again, and we'll have a wee look. Oh, and the Exodite launched this week as well, so we'll have a look at that as well. For a service promoted mainly on animations, we've had 9 weeks without and 17 weeks with. Angels of Death ran to 10 episodes, Hammer and Bolter ran to 9 episodes, and the Exodite starts its run today. And that's it. I had expected so much more from the pre-launch hype, but it has since become very apparent that we're not going to get this animation wonderland that I thought we were getting. It's just not going to happen. We've had 2 pauses of 3 weeks each in the animation release cycle, and that seemed like an eternity. At least the animation side will be propped up by the other shows, right? Well, not so fast. While I do enjoy Lore Master's Masterclass and Battle Report, they're released so sporadically that I just can't get excited about them. I just don't know what's coming the next week. You have to go in to Warhammer Community on a Sunday and see what's coming on the Wednesday. What we should be able to do is just take for granted that we're getting one of each show. That would seem like a decent amount of content. You add an animation on top of that, and that would be absolutely fine. But we don't get that. We get a masterclass and an animation, a lore masters and an animation, or a masterclass and a battle report, say. We generally only get 2 programmes a week, and that's not enough. For a bit of context, Masterclasses had 20 episodes, which is pretty decent. There have been 15 battle reports, and there have been a measly 11 lore masters out of 26 weeks. Apologies if it sounds like I'm in the middle of a storm here, that would be because I am. And I also fell going out to the shed last night trying to put a trampoline away, so that was good. For battle report and lore masters, because it's split over so many things, it's even more unlikely that you'll get something that you're interested in. If you're an AOS fan, the likelihood is it'll be a Warhammer 40k one or a Kill Team one. And if you're a 40k fan, then if you really want to see a battle report, it'll probably be AOS or Warcry or something like that. So because it's split up into so many silos, you just don't know which one you're going to get. Now don't get me wrong, these shows are very enjoyable, very highly produced. They're great in fact, but they're not any better than stuff that exists already on YouTube. Games Workshop are missing a trick here because we don't get any behind the scenes stuff or anything like that. We don't get anything that would be entirely unique to Games Workshop, and that is a real shame. As you would imagine, Battle Report absolutely dominates runtime, with a lot of the episodes clocking in at near to 90 minutes. Now for 32 hours runtime total across all the main shows, animations and things like that, and the whole service, Battle Report accounts for 14.7 hours of that, which is massive. So if you take away Battle Report, then you've got about 17 hours of content for 6 months, which I think anyone would agree is pretty low in a service that was marketed on streaming content. Also, when there's no animation, we usually get a deep strike thrown in. They're generally 30 minutes. They're really good programmes. It's kind of like a chat with people involved in the making of Hammer and Bolter, Angels of Death, that kind of thing. And I think we'll get one of these for each animated show going forward. So that's a really good thing, but there's been 4 episodes in 6 months. Obviously they can't do more than that because they do it at the mid-season break and at the end of the show. So they're kind of stuck there. But it doesn't mean they couldn't come up with ideas for similar shows that could maybe give us a bit more to watch. Unsurprisingly, all the high points have been animations so far. Angels of Death was absolutely fantastic. Pure Warhammer 40k joy. I loved it, start to finish, absolutely loved it. I know there's a few janky facial animations, I know that the style doesn't suit everyone, and the camera shake nearly made me lose my lunch, but apart from that, absolutely fantastic. There have been a good few Hammer and Bolter episodes that are great as well. Death's Hand, Bound for Greatness, and the most recent one, Artifacts, all brilliant, loved them all. And in the Garden of Ghosts was the Eldar one, which nearly made me cry, so that's got to be a good thing. Anything that can get emotion into 40k has got to be a good thing. All the Hammer and Bolters tend to bring a unique story to the table, which is always welcome. The animation style is hit or miss though, with some people that can't stand it. I'm not one of those people. I can put up with it because the stories are so good, but it's totally understandable where they're coming from. As for disappointments, the Hammer and Bolter episode KDS Stands has got to be right up there for me. The animation style just did not keep up with the action, and the story was probably one of the weaker ones as well. Imperial Guard v Tyranids should have been an absolute open goal, shooty in, absolute stick on for being a great episode, and it managed not to be, and that was a real disappointment for me. The other disappointment was Christmas, because 1 week over Christmas we got an 8-minute masterclass, and it was terrible. It was all about painting Space Marines. Bear in mind this is meant to be a masterclass, it's meant to be more for intermediate people, and we got basically painting, piping and line highlighting. It wasn't even done well, it just seemed so rushed. Over Christmas it did actually become apparent that content was being created week to week and not ahead of time, because most of us were sat at home on holiday over Christmas, and that would be the perfect time to hit us with a lot of content. Scheduled beforehand, all created beforehand. People can go on holiday, you schedule the content and then you drop it on the right day. But what actually happened was, it seemed like they were scrambling to get anything out, probably chucked the tutorial out as they're running out the door for their holidays, and everyone's disappointed and they get ill feeling directed towards them. People deserve a holiday, absolutely, but if Warhammer Plus was a priority in any way, shape or form, then this would not have happened. So let's get on with the reviews. So first up, it's Warhammer Vault, and this time we've got End Times Thankwall, which is the Skaven guy. So finally some furry action. The End Times are great, and as I always say, give it a read because they're fantastic books and it tells you a lot about the old world. The other thing we get is 3 white dwarves, and we're now back in 2011, so we're getting there. The battle report is the usual fare. It's between the two full-time battle report presenters, Simon and Nick, and it was Ironjaws versus Lumineth. Now it's just your standard battle report, very well produced, good back and forth between the presenters. It's difficult for me to get too excited about it though because it's Age of Sigmar, but I'm very happy for Age of Sigmar fans who have signed up for the service because they've not had very much before now, so that's good. Still not a sniff of an animation set in the Mortal Realms though. I know Neve Blacktalon's coming, but that'll be the last of the animations I think. So now we're on to the bit that you've probably been waiting for, and that is the Exodite. So we've been waiting a long time for this, so it's going to be a home run, isn't it? Well, no. It's 12 minutes long, which is pretty pathetic. It seems like a trailer or an intro rather than a fully fledged episode. I did actually have a dream last night that the animation was going to be as bad as Ultramarines. Thankfully it wasn't. The animation was actually really good. Lens flare was way overused. It felt like J.J. Abrams on steroids. Spaceships still explode weirdly, same as Angels of Death. There was a lot of good from it. The space battle was really cool. Everything seemed textured well. Everything seemed lit well. It really looked nice. Really nice in fact. It was good to see the Tau technology, which is so far ahead of the Imperium, it's just not even funny. It was like Minority Report. And inside the suits, it's like Iron Man with the HUD. Really cool. I already liked the Tau, but seeing their interactions before a mission was really fun. Really loved that bit. There were a lot of things I didn't like as well. First thing, hardly anything happened. It didn't go anywhere. The other thing, there was a lot of text on the screen with voiceovers that took up quite a lot of the runtime. The other thing was there were zooming shots, like slow zooms, and I mean, they took up a lot of time as well, so there wasn't much substance to it at all. I don't know if it was rushed out. I don't know if this is just a response to having 3 weeks without an animation, but it didn't feel fully realised, if you know what I mean. I know there's a lot of people in the industry in here, so maybe they can confirm or deny this, but it seems like if you've got the shot set up and you zoom over 10 or 20 seconds, then that would be a lot easier to do than cut to different camera angles within the 3D scene. It is now set up well, so in my opinion it's got the potential to be a classic, so we will see. I've already seen comments on my other videos about the 12-minute runtime and people are not happy about that. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the Exodite. Let me know if you think Warhammer Plus is succeeding as a service or if it's failing. I think I know which one you'll go for. So once again, thanks for watching, happy hobbying, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.